Hello, everyone. This is Starik from Lemko with History. Today, I have Dean Poloka. He is the host of the Carpatho-Rusyn Heritage Program, and also he was the former vice president of the Carpatho-Rusyn Society. How are you doing, Dean?
Not bad, Static. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's good to be here.
Good
Uh,
to be here
s-
as well.
so for the audience members that don't know who you are, can you give us a little bit more background about yourself?
Sure. My name is, as you said, Dean Poloka. I live in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania metropolitan area. And for my entire life, I've been sort of living you want to call it the Rusyn dream. My grandparents, parents instilled in me a sense of Rusyn heritage that has given me fuel to keep going and teach the word, if you want to call it, about what it is to be Rusyn and how things Rusyn are and should be here in
Mhm.
not only Pittsburgh, but America.
So, how long have you known that you were Rusyn? Just your entire life you've known it?
Yes, I've known my entire life since the day I was born, taken into the local Byzantine Catholic Church to be baptized. My parents, 100% Rusyn, one who was three-quarters Rusyn and a quarter Croatian. We've always had that sense of not only Slavic heritage, but
Mm-hmm.
Carpatho-Rusyn heritage, everything from Holy Supper, Sviati Večer, to all of the traditions throughout the decades. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so I've known ever since I was able to talk and comprehend that I was Carpatho-Rusyn.
Wow, that is great. I wish I had that. That would have been amazing. So you've been doing the radio program for over a decade now. You know, a very long time for anybody doing anything. Can you give us a little bit of a background on how you got started in that, and just how also did you find your way to the Carpatho-Rusyn Society as well?
Well, to preface everything, the Carpatho-Rusyn Society Heritage Program did start in 2004. But before that time, Carpatho-Rusyn Radio in America started actually in the late 1990s. Those people that live in the Pittsburgh area and even outside of the area know of Jerry Jumba and his Carpatho-Rus radio program. Unfortunately, that program ended in 2003, and in 2004, the beginning, the Carpatho-Rusyn Society asked me and my dad, who passed away in 2010, if we would like to be the hosts of the new Carpatho-Rusyn Society Heritage Program. And this Carpatho-Rusyn Society Heritage Program is a half an hour radio broadcast where we bring music from all of the Rusyn regions, as well as news, events, and happenings of Carpatho-Rusyns here in America and in the Carpatho-Rusyn homeland.
You know, you've been doing it for so long. What keeps you going? What is, what's that fire inside you?
The fire inside me is the sense that was given to me by my parents and grandparents. When I say I've done it since birth, really have to look in the Pittsburgh area. We've been lucky that we have had not only one generation, but we've had multiple generations of Carpatho-Rusyn awareness, even back in the time of the settlers that came here in the late early 1900s, and especially the Pittsburgh region. We came from Eastern Slovakia, Western Ukraine, Southeast Poland, and we've always stuck together and said, we are Rusnaci, we are Rusyns.
Hmm.
And we've gotten along and we've had fights with some of our ethnic neighbors, but we've our identity of Carpatho-Rusyn. And luckily, being in the Pittsburgh area, the Archieparchy of Pittsburgh, the Byzantine Catholic Church, has played a
Yeah.
vital role, along with the Carpatho-Russian Orthodox Church, in helping Carpatho-Rusyns not only say who we are, but have dance groups and have choral groups and different types of events for
Hmm.
Carpatho-Rusyns for quite a long time.
You still have that fire. How long do you think you can continue doing the radio show? I mean, do you see it as something that you'll do into retirement? You know, what do you feel about that?
I don't know about that. There is a Ukrainian program that just recently went off the air, and they were on for 66 years here in the Pittsburgh area.
Wow. Wow.
I would like to say I can be on and will be on that long, but it's all going to depend on the Carpatho-Rusyn Society. It depends on donations that I get from sponsors and those that like the radio show. And another factor that we're starting to deal with now is this great platform of social media. The
Exactly.
terrestrial broadcast as we know it today may not be a thing in a few years. If we can get on a radio show like this, there are internet radio stations that Carpatho-Rusyn have in Poland and in Ukraine. And that may be an option for Carpatho-Rusyn Radio here in the Pittsburgh area or the United States. But
Mm.
I would like to be on as long as I can, as long as that support is behind me.
Well, I hope you stay on as long as possible because I definitely enjoy it myself. Going with that theme of change, what kind of changes have you seen in the Rusyn community in the U.S. in the last 5 or so years?
I would have to say the biggest change is this transformation into social media. When I first started doing the Carpatho-Rusyn research, we had to pick up a telephone, call an exchange in Prague who would take you to Bratislava, who would take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you would have to send a letter and wait 5, 6, 7 weeks to get a response.
Mm-hmm.
Through the 90s and the 2000s, that started changing into email, but especially in the last 5 years with Skype and Zoom and your cell phone being able to hook to anyone in the world, the platform of getting together and having a meeting or having some sort of talk seems to be changing. With the current pandemic of COVID-19 being rampant throughout the world, we're starting to do what you're doing, a YouTube channel where we're going to start talking about different aspects of Rusyn culture. So if you had to ask me, the biggest change in the last 5 years is not only the move to social platforms, but the acceptance of social platforming. And with that social platform transformation, the younger generation is more capable of getting on and doing research and coming to these quote unquote online seminars.
And so, oh, sorry, you can continue.
No. But not only the younger generation is doing this.
Yeah.
My generation and the generation above me are embracing the cell phone technology, the laptop technology, getting online and talking to their Rusyn relatives, even if they don't speak the same language. With today's artificial intelligence, you can talk to your Rusyn relatives, albeit maybe Ukrainian, Polish, or Slovak language, but AI, artificial intelligence, has no problem with those languages in English. So you're able to not only research, but talk nowadays.
Have you seen an uptick in young people that are interested in this stuff?
I have, and especially as you said, people thinking that they're Russian. Oh, I've always thought I was Russian all these years, but when I did the research, I realized that I'm not actually Russian. And as part of the Carpatho-Rusyn Society, we have several committees, and the younger generation are starting to come in saying, you know, I thought I was Russian. I thought I was whatever it may be. But when I started looking on YouTube, started looking on Facebook, started looking on the different DNA sites and whatnot, I realized that I'm actually Carpatho-Rusyn. So I do see that uptick in the younger generation, like yourself, and seeing how they're starting to more fully embrace this idea of not only being Carpatho-Rusyn, but showing and demonstrating this wonderful heritage that we have, either through a podcast or a YouTube session as we're having right now.
Is there anything you'd like to tell our audience that you think they should know? You know, maybe any resources or maybe anything like that? I mean, truly anything.
Well, the Carpatho-Rusyn Society can visit our webpage, c-rs.org. c-rs.org for the Carpatho-Rusyn Society. If you're interested in joining, they have membership applications there. We have our events page. Unfortunately, there are no events in the near future. Change, I hope. And also there's a link to the new platform that we have for media. The Carpatho-Rusyn Society just recently, within the last 2 months, stood up a media page. And the address for that is c-rsmedia.org. c-rsmedia.org, where you can find the latest Carpatho-Rusyn Society Heritage Program, as well as probably most of the archives of our radio program. When we started in 2004, sort of had the sense to record all of these, knowing that one day the technology would be there to be able to put these in a small file format and have them uploaded somewhere. So you are able to go and listen to just about every Carpatho-Rusyn Society Heritage Program there is from 2004 to last Sunday's show.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for coming on, Dean. I really appreciate it. It was a fun time.
And one last thing, not only that, but if you are interested in listening to our broadcast during broadcast time, we are on Sundays at 2:30 Eastern Time on WPIT. Now, WPIT is a Pittsburgh channel, and that's found on your AM dial 73 or your FM dial 96.5, or they do have their webpage where you can listen during broadcast time, and that address is WPITradio.com. WPITradio.com.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.